retirement soon. Now, if I want to convert this into a nested if, just to explain you nested if, something to uh, figure out. So over here, it states 18 to 54 is eligible for job. Even 55 to 57 is eligible for the job. But retirement is soon. That's the extra addition that I have to tell the user. Just retirement as soon as what I have to tell the user. So can I write something like this? Hey, wait, can I write 57? And can I omit this? So if I omit this, what will happen? For everything lesser than equal to 57 and greater than 18, I'll always say eligible for job. Inside this, can I say if if the age is greater than 55, because I know if it is coming inside it's greater than 18, that is something I surely know it's greater than 18, and less than 57 if it is going inside these blocks, and it will definitely print eligible, because I know for everyone from 18 to 57 they're eligible. But if the age by chance exceeds 55, and I know it will always be lesser than 57, then only I go ahead and say, hey, if it is exceeding, then can you go ahead and say retirement soon? But retirement soon. That is the extra thing that you need to print, right? But retirement soon. So this is how you can also write it. So this is what you call as nested if. So what happened was you just took out the if from here and you put it over here. Does it save time? No. I just wanted to tell you that inside if, inside else if, you can also write conditional. Inside this if, you can go ahead and write another conditional. So it can go nested. These are called nested if else statements. Inside if, one if, so nested ifs. Got it? So you can write conditions according to your choice, and eventually, when you go across time and you solve tougher problems, you'll see that you will be writing multiple such conditions. Okay. So we have completed the if else statements now. What's the next thing? We'll be completing the switch statement. We are talking about switch statement. So we will be taking this problem in order to understand the switch. It is similar to if else. We generally don't use switch that much, but it is handy to know the switch statements as well. So what is the problem stating? Take the day number and print the corresponding day. For one, if they're giving the day number as one, you have to print Monday. For two, you have to print Tuesday, and so on. For seven, you have to print Sunday. So they'll be giving you a number between 1 and 7. So the syntax of switch is super simple. So you take the, let's say, the number, the day number, same day. So whatever variable you're taking, on that you have to write the switch. It's kind of a switch. So you say switch day. Okay. And then you open the braces. So on the basis of the day, the switch will address, that address is very randomized. I cannot say that it is stored in, let's say, India. Like there is nothing like at this memory address it is stored. Throughout the CPU can be stored anywhere. Now the first index. Now that one I can definitely say will be stored right after the zeroth guy. Right after the zeroth guy's memory address, right? The consecutive one. Then the first will be stored right after that. So the zeroth guy, we're not sure. But we are sure about the next guys because they will always be in consecutive. So remember, array elements are stored in consecutive memory address. But I'm not sure where the first one will be. It can be at any randomized location. Very, very important point to remember. But will it be required in DS algo? I don't think so. But it is a point which is important and you should keep in your mind. So till now, we did learn about the 1D array. The thing is taken and stored in a memory location. Yes, the entire thing is taken and stored in a memory location. So this guy, zeroth index, is stored at a particular memory. And that memory can be of any address. That address is very randomized. I cannot say that it is stored in, let's say, India. Like there is nothing like at this memory address it is stored. Throughout the CPU, it can be stored anywhere. Now the first index. Now that one I can definitely say will be stored right after the zeroth guy. Right after the zeroth guy's memory address, right? The consecutive one. Then the second guy will be stored right after that. So the zeroth guy, we're not sure. But we are sure about the next guys because they will always be in consecutive. So remember, array elements are stored in consecutive memory address. But I'm not sure where the first one will be. It can be at any randomized location. Very, very important point to remember. But will it be required in DS algo? I don't think so. But it is a point which is important and you should keep in your mind. So till now, we did learn about the 1D array. Now we will be learning about the 2D array. What is a 2D array? Again, I'll be giving you very basic idea about 2D array over here. Eventually, when we move across the playlist, we will be learning about 2D array in depth. If this was declared, this was something like 5 guys or 5 boxes indexing from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Correct? Now, the moment I say I need 5 boxes, but I need them 3 times, I'll add 3. What it means is I'll have 3 5 boxes. If I show you diagrammatically, this is what I'll have. 3, 1, 2, 3, 5 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 5 boxes is what I'll have. So this is what it means. This is the row number. We generally call this as row and this as column. And if I talk about the indexing over here, again the indexing starts from 0. And this is how the indexing goes. You see 0, 1, 2, and this is 0. So this guy is known as 0, 0. This guy is known as 0, 1. This guy is known as 0, 2. This guy is known as 0, 3. So this is how the naming or the row and column goes. If I say 1, comma 3, so here is 1 and here is 3. 76. The value will be 76. If I say give me the value at 1, comma 3, the value will be 76. Again, if you want to assign like 1, 3 equal to, you can say 78. And then you can go ahead and say C out of A1, 3. We will be seeing the use of 2D matrix a lot. We'll be solving a bunch of problems. Don't worry about that. So this will be array and this will be array. So if you go ahead and print this, you'll be seeing that we're actually getting 78 at this location. And for the locations that you have not defined, they'll be assigning themselves some garbage value. It can be any value. Like if you try to print 1, 2, you'll see it is having a garbage value. Like if you try to print it again, it will have different values. Every time you print, it has some garbage value. that comes print location. And for 3, 1 comma 3. So here is 1 and here is 3. 76. The value will be 76. If I say, give me the value at 1 comma 3, the value will be 76. Again, if you want to assign, like it will be like A1, 3 equal to, you can say 78. And then you can go ahead and say C out of A1, 3. We will be seeing the use of 2D matrix a lot. We'll be solving a bunch of problems. Don't worry about that. So this will be array and this will be array. So if you go ahead and print this, you'll be seeing that we're actually getting 78 at this location. And for the locations that you have not defined, they'll be assigned. Assigning themselves some garbage value. It can be any value. Like if you try to define, try to print 1, 2, you'll see it is having a garbage value. Like if you try to print it again, it will have different values. Every time you print, it has some garbage value that comes in from the system because you did not initialize. The only guy that you initialized one was the first row and the terms of zero based indexing. Very important. In we have zero based indexing. Okay. Where is 2D array used? It is used to solve a lot of matrix problems, a lot of graph problems, which you'll be dealing with in the future. This is the column and it goes as row and column. That's it. That is what you have to keep in your head as of now. So in the STL video, I've talked about a lot of functions related to arrays, vectors, list, and a lot of other things. So you can definitely check that video after this one. So we have known about arrays in basics. Now let's talk about string. So imagine this is the string that I am having. String s equal to string. And now I want to access I. So the string also stores every character in terms of indexes. So S will be at the 0th index. So if you try to print something like C out of S of 0, what will happen? See, S will be printed. If you say S of 1, see what happens. T will be printed. If you say S of 2, you know what will be printed. R. So every character is stored at an index. And the first index is the 0th index. And what will be the last index? Whatever is the length. So can I say the length is, this is how you find the length. Length equal to s dot size, or there is another function as length, which you can use. So if I say length minus 1, because I know last index, because everything works in zero-based indexing. The last index will be n minus 1. I know it. If I print this, what will be printed? Driver R, because this is what happens at the last index. That's how you can easily access the string. If you want to change any value, imagine you want to say, hey, I'm not interested in this. Please make it Z. Strives. And it gets changed to Z. So you can also change it. Remember, these are characters. Characters at every index. And characters when gets added makes up a string. So So all of these are characters. You can't do something like this and expect this to work. If you do this, it will not work and it will give you errors. You see, errors. So since it is a character, you have to assign it with a character. So string is storing characters within itself. So if you know about this and the length function, eventually we will be solving a lot of string problems. And there you can easily get on with strings. So we are done with arrays and strings. Now it's time to do for loops and while loops. And as of now, I'll be talking about basics. Eventually, we'll be solving a bunch of patterns, a bunch of patterns. And once you end up solving all these patterns using for loops, trust me, your logical thinking, your concept of for loops will be super strong. And then we'll move on to solving maths and everything using the for loops and while loops. And eventually, in the entire DSA, for loops, if you don't know for loops, you can't do anything. So please stay focused. So What is for loops? Why is it used? Imagine I say you, hey, print your name. So I'll be like, see out. Okay, what's mine? My name is Trevor. And I'll print it 5 times. Done. 5 times print. Print it 500 times. 500? That's a lot. This is where for loop comes. For loop says, same line of code. Why do you want to write it again and again? I'll do it for you. So what for loop says is, hey, same line of code, right? Write it once. And then enclose it inside me. Inside me, enclose it. And the for loop says, okay, my syntax is very simple. Say for, what is the variable that you want to go across? How many times you want to run? Put up a variable for that. I want to run it for 5 times or 500 times. What is the initial? First, I equal to 1. Variable declaration, I equal to 1. Variable declaration. This only gets executed for the first iteration. Only gets executed for the first iteration. Then condition at which I'll stop. The for loop will stop. The looping will stop. So I'll be like, the condition is 10. I'm saying, till I don't reach 10, I'll not stop. And at every step, I have to do something. If I don't do, I will forever stay 1. And if I stays forever 1, this condition will always be true. And if it is always true, that line of code will run. And it'll never end. This is where something like increment or decrement, your wish, comes in. And I say, this is the line that I use, I want to execute. And I go ahead and write this line. Now what happens is, see what will happen. I'll tell you how it happens. Wow, 10 times, exactly 10 times Stripe got printed. What happened was, first initialization, I equal to 1. First time, I is 1. I lesser than 10, yes. Goes, prints. Printed, comes back to this line. I gets 2. Next, goes here. 2 lesser than equal to 10, yes. Goes here, prints. Goes again here. I equal to 3. After here, goes here. 3 lesser than equal to 10, yes. Prints. Then goes here. I equal to 4. Imagine this is 5 for an example so that I can explain. I equal to 4, prints. Goes again here. I becomes 5. Prints. Goes here, I becomes 5. Checks. Prints. Goes again here. I become 6. The moment I become 6, 6 lesser than equal to 5. No, stop. So it will get executed 5 times. But if you try to print the value of I, imagine you want to print the value of I, something very important to notice. If you print it like this, it will not be able to find I. Why? Because the scope of the I was declared inside this. So the scope, wherever you declare I, the scope is limited to that. So the other way you can do is, you can say I, and you can write something else. So you declared the I here, and then you've initialized it here. So if you print I over here, see what happens. So if I print I, the last value of I is 6, where it got truncated. You can run the for loop in the reverse order as well. Something like, hey, maybe start from 5, maybe go on till, and maybe decrease it. So if you do this, and if you print the value of I, you can see the value of I. Oh, sorry, my bad. You want to print the value of I? Maybe go like this. Oh, sorry, maybe like this, and yeah, this should go. See the value of I. 5 for the first, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1, then 0. Got it? So you can write the for loop as you wish to. Is it mandatory that you reduce by 2? No. I want to run this for 5 times. How I run it for 5 times is my choice. I can be like, 1. I can be like, I need for 5 times. I will go till 25. I will do I into, or maybe I plus 5. My choice. I can go like 1, 6, 11, 16, 21. My choice. That's my choice. No one is here to stay. How I run doesn't matter. How many times I run is what matters. This condition depends on you. What you need to make sure is, if you want it for 5, if you want it for 10, if you want it for 20, make sure the condition is written in such a way that it runs for that many number of times. That is the core concept of for loops. Do we have nested for loops similar to if? Yes, we do have. And the nested for loops is something which I'll be teaching you while printing patterns. As of now, this is what you need to know. Can we write if conditions inside the for loop? Yes, you can go ahead and write if. Any line of code can be written inside any for or any while loop. So this is how you write a for loop. Now, I want to convert this exact similar for loop. I'll just comment it out. I want to convert this exact similar for loop into a while loop. So the while loop does the same thing. The task is same. Whenever I attach something like loop, the task remains same, executing some lines of code for some number of times. We do the same thing. And here, the only difference is the syntax changes. While executes like this, whatever is the condition will go here. And whatever is the increment goes at the end, goes at the last line. Whatever is the increment goes at the last line. Okay. And the initialization goes over here. First time initialization happens. While says 1 is lesser than equal to 5, fine. Go ahead and do C out of driver. And if you want to print i's value, you can also check it out. So if I go ahead and do endl, you will see the value. See. Perfect. So what happens? Check, print, increase, check, print, increase. First check goes inside, increases, comes back, checks, prints, increases. Very simple. This is how a while loop executes. So this is about while loop. Now, while has one more concept, and that concept is do while loop. Okay. Now, what does do while mean? So can I say, if I keep I equal to 2 and I keep something like this, will it execute? The answer to that is no, because I is 2, the condition is false, never executes, goes to this, ends the program. So do while says, you don't know the condition, because when you're writing code in industry or maybe you're solving a problem, you a lot of times the condition might be user dependent or you might have such use cases. So you always want one thing to happen, that is, you want your line of code to be executed minimum for one time. Minimum for one time. That is when you say, okay, if I want it to be executed for minimum of one time, I will write it something like do, and I'll put this condition for over here at the end. And then I'll be doing the same thing. I'll be doing the same thing. So what will happen is, even if the INDI is defined as 2 and the condition doesn't executes because it doesn't allows me, and then you end it with a semicolon. Even if the condition doesn't allows me, do says do it for the first. Go ahead, do it for the first, then increment, then check, then do. So if you say I equal to 2, see what driver 2 gets printed. And then if you see the value of I at the end of the while loop, let's print. What will happen? The value of I was 2. You printed driver. I increased to 3. And 3 was lesser than equal to 1. And it got ended. But do will make sure the first time it gets executed, irrespective of what condition you are given. So this is the basic, like you can define it here, you can define it before this, that is your choice. But this is the basic of for and while loops. So I can say this is the basic of for and while loops. Eventually, when we solve these amazing set of patterns, the concept of the for and while loops will get more and more into your head, and you'll be very strong in logical thinking. And eventually, you can apply for loops in maths, recursion, and all the other problems. Okay, what's the next thing? functions, pass by reference, and pass by value. This is the basic, like you can define it here, you can define it before this, that is your choice. But this is the basic of for and while loops. So I can say this is the basic of for and while loops. Eventually, when we solve these amazing set of patterns, the concept when we solve these amazing set of patterns, the concept of the for and while loops will get more and more into your head, and you'll be very strong in logical thinking. And eventually, you can apply for loops in maths, recursion, and all the other problems. Okay, what's the next thing? Functions, pass by reference, and pass by value. Functions is very, very important because we'll be using functions throughout. Yes, throughout to solve any problems. We will be writing functions. So please make sure you understand functions in a proper depth. So let's
अब इसका आपको मीनिंग समझाता हूँ। पहले ये काम सेम करेगा, आपको रन करके दिखाता हूँ मैंने किया क्या है। पहले देखते हैं कि काम कैसे कर रहा है। मैं जैसे करता हूँ 40, सेलिंग प्राइस 50, तो देखो प्रॉफिट हमारा जो चैप्टर नंबर 3 था वो फिनिश हो चुका है, विच वॉज लूप्स। अब मैंने इस पैटर्न्स को भी चैप्टर नंबर 3 में डाल दिया था, लेकिन दिस इज चैप्टर 4। ठीक है, इसको हम थोड़ी तमीज देते हैं। चैप्टर नंबर 4 इज पैटर्न प्रिंटिंग, अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक। ठीक है, फॉर बिल्डिंग योर लॉजिक। तो फटाफट इसकी तरफ बढ़ते हैं, हमारा चैप्टर 3 फिनिश हो चुका है। तो गाइस अब हम आ जाते हैं अपने बहुत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट और अच्छे चैप्टर के ऊपर, जिसका नाम है चैप्टर नंबर 4 पैटर्न प्रिंटिंग। ठीक है, अब जो पैटर्न प्रिंटिंग है ये बेसिकली लूप्स का ही एक पार्ट है। ठीक है, यहाँ पे हम फॉर लूप्स का इस्तेमाल करेंगे मेजरली तो, लेकिन हम पढ़ने वाले हैं नेस्टेड लूप्स। नेस्टेड का मतलब आपको पता होगा एक के अंदर एक। ठीक है, हम पढ़ने वाले हैं बेसिकली नेस्टेड लूप्स। ठीक है भाई, ठीक है, नेस्टेड लूप्स जैसे आपने नेस्टेड इफ एल्स भी मैंने आपको पढ़ाया था। ठीक है, नेस्टेड इफ एल्स भी पढ़ाया था, जो कि एक के अंदर एक। ठीक है, एक के अंदर एक, ये दूसरा, राइट। एक मैंने फॉर लूप लिखा, उसके अंदर एक और फॉर लूप आ गया, उसके अंदर एक और फॉर लूप आ गया। इसको हम बोलते हैं नेस्टेड लूप, इसको बोलते हैं यार नेस्टेड लूप। ठीक है, तो हम कुछ पैटर्न्स को प्रिंट करेंगे। जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल के तौर पे आपको समझाता हूं। यहां पर लिखा है प्रिंट द गिवन पैटर्न। 5 स्टार इधर है, 5 स्टार इधर है, 5 स्टार इधर है, एंड 3 लाइनों में है। ठीक है, तो हम इसको प्रिंट कर सकते हैं डेफिनेटली, बहुत ज्यादा सिंपल है। लेकिन इसको हम लूप्स की मदद से करेंगे। अब मैं आपको समझाता हूं कि पैटर्न प्रिंटिंग क्या है। जैसे ये डायग्राम हो गया, जरूरी नहीं है कि 5x3 का मेरे को बताना है। यहां पे सॉलिड रेक्टेंगल दे रखा है, तो बेसिकली आपको m क्रॉस n का रेक्टेंगल बनाना है। m क्रॉस 2, ठीक है, में आप ध्यान रख सकते हैं वेरिएशन। सबसे पहले बनाएंगे स्टार रेक्टेंगल या सॉलिड रेक्टेंगल, जो भी मैं 1 2 3 4 5 यहां पे लिख देता हूं। तो क्या जो मैं फिर मैं लिखूं नंबर ऑफ रोज 3, तो 3 मेरी लाइंस है फॉर लूप की मदद से मैं बदल सकता हूं। हर रो में 4 स्टार है। अब अगर आपसे पूछा जाए कि भाई मेरे को ये भी कंट्रोल करना है, ठीक है, नंबर ऑफ रोज तो मैंने कंट्रोल कर ली, ये तो मेरी रोज है। ठीक है, इतनी बात चलेगा। मैं चाहता हूं ये हर बार मैं 4 स्टार प्रिंट ना करूं, यहां पे एक वेरिएबल हो। जैसे हर बार मैं 4 प्रिंट करना चाहता हूं, मैं प्रिंट करना चाहता हूं काफी सारे स्टार्स, n नंबर ऑफ स्टार्स। तो मैं क्या करूंगा, देखो फिर हम ऐसा कर सकते हैं। सबसे पहले तो हम इसको ऐसे भी लिख सकते थे, ये मैं आपको बताऊंगा कि मैं ऐसा क्यों कर रहा हूं। बट देखो ये भी कोड चलेगा। मैं लिखता हूं 4, तो देखो 4 क्रॉस 4 का आ गया। क्यों? क्योंकि 4 मेरी बाहर रोज है और 4 4 स्टार में प्रिंट कर रहा हूं, और एक एक एंटर दे रहा हूं हर बार, अलग लाइन में लिख रहा हूं। यहां पे एक ही बात है। अब मैं आपको बताता हूं, अगर आपको यहां पे भी वेरिएबल नंबर ऑफ स्टार्स हर लाइन में वेरिएबल रखने, तो आप क्या करोगे यहां पे। चलिए इसके बारे में बात करते हैं। ऑफ कोर्स एक लूप लगा दो। एक लूप लगा दो, राइट। 4 की जगह आपको अगर n नंबर ऑफ स्टार प्रिंट करने हैं तो एक काम करो, पहले यहाँ पे लिखो इंट n, एंटर नंबर ऑफ कॉलम, यहीं से ले लो, हर लाइन में कितने एलिमेंट्स हैं उनको कॉलम्स बोलते हैं, और उसका इनपुट भी ले लो, ठीक है भाई। फिर एक काम करो, इस लाइन की जगह आप एक लूप लगा दो, लूप के अंदर लूप पॉसिबल है। तो फॉर इंट यहाँ पे यार, अब मैं पहले तो ये वेरिएबल रख लेता हूँ, फॉर इंट i इक्वल टू 1, i लेस देन इक्वल टू n, i प्लस की मुझे n नंबर कॉलम है, ठीक है भाई। नंबर ऑफ रोज मेरी यहाँ पे m है, और जो कॉलम्स है वो मैं n के बराबर मान रहा हूँ, ठीक है, ऊपर के हिसाब से देखो। तो मैं क्या करूंगा, मैं काम करूंगा सी आउट में स्टार प्रिंट करा दूंगा बिना स्पेस के, ठीक है, एक स्टार प्रिंट करा दूंगा अभी, बस दैट्स इट। और ये बार-बार प्रिंट होता रहेगा n टाइम्स, इसका मीनिंग ये है कि भाई 1 से लेकर n i प्लस, तो जो भी अंदर है वो n टाइम्स रहेगा, तो एक साथ प्रिंट होता रहेगा। लास्ट में ये एंटर देना मत भूलना हर लाइन के बाद। तो दिस इज इंपॉर्टेंट, रन करते हैं, अब मैं आपको समझाता हूं। नंबर ऑफ रोज 3, नंबर ऑफ कॉलम 6, देखो 3 मेरी लाइंस होगी, नंबर ऑफ रोज, हर रो में कितने स्टार है, 6। इसको थोड़ा सुंदर लाइन में एक की मैं इसका नाम आई रखूं, तो मैं निकाल रहा हूं, करते हैं ये चीज, अगर मेरे को एक ये लूप है और एक लूप के अंदर ऑलवेज अ गुड थिंग टू डू। लूप होता है वो रोज के लिए होता है कि हर रो में कितने स्टार प्रिंट हो रहे हैं, अंदर वाला कॉलम के लिए होता है। कॉलम वाला यूजुअली जे से ही मैं डिपेंड करता हूं, और रोज को मैं आई से बोलता हूं, वैसे तो किसी से भी कह सकते हैं, बट इट इज व्हाट इट, तो मैं कमेंट। और मैं इसकी बात करूं, सिर्फ एक साथ सिर्फ एंटर दे, सॉलिड स्क्वायर प्रिंट करना है, तो आई थिंक दिस इज सिंपल, इसमें कुछ है नहीं, दिस इज इजियर देन रेक्टेंगल बाय जितनी नंबर यहां पे रो करते हैं प्रिंट कर एक साथ सिर्फ एंटर दे दिया। अब ये काम बार-बार हो रहा है m टाइम्स, तो दिस इज नेस्टेड लूप। अब आगे बढ़ते हैं, फटाफट एक तो क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करते हैं। प्रिंट, तो आई थिंक दिस इज सिंपल, इसमें कुछ है नहीं, दिस इज इजियर देन रेक्टेंगल बाय जितनी नंबर यहां पे रोज अपनी कॉलम्स है। एंड अगेन अगर आपको क्वेश्चन में ये दे दिया जाए, तो मेरे टाइम पे करते थे बच्चे, पता क्या लिखते थे, उनको ये पैटर्न प्रिंट करना होता था या इससे मुश्किल कोई अगर आ जाता था तो वो सीधा ये लिख देते थे, सी आउट, ये देखो सी आउट 1 2 3 4, ठीक है भाई। फिर यहाँ पे लिख देते थे ENDL, एंड इसी चीज को 4 बार लिख देते थे ये नहीं करना आपको। अगर आपको ये नहीं दे रखा हो कि कितना n है, तो भी आपको ये अपने दिमाग में मान के चलना है कि भाई इसका मतलब पता है क्या, इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि 4 बाय 4 का स्क्वायर बनाना है, इसका मतलब है कि कोई n होगा, वो आपको खुद सोचना है। ये आपको मान लो ये दे रखा होगा क्वेश्चन लिटरली, और कुछ लिखा होगा, ठीक है। ये बस एग्जांपल के लिए, फॉर एग्जांपल n 4 में आसान सा आ रहा है, ठीक है। तो अगर मान लो n 3 लेते हो तो आपको 3 बाय 3 का स्क्वायर प्रिंट करना है, तो आई थिंक आपको समझ आ रहा होगा, वो वाली हरकत मत करना, माइनस में और नंबर मिल सकते हैं। तो ये बहुत सिंपल है, इसमें अगर मेरे को छोटा सा काम करना है तो एक काम करो, इसको कॉपी पेस्ट करो, मतलब जितनी नंबर ऑफ रोज होती है कॉलम्स है, तो 2 मिनट में काम हो जाएगा। ये देखो मैं लिखता हूं स्टार स्क्वायर डॉट सीपीपी दिखाओ, एंड नंबर ऑफ कॉलम्स लेने ही नहीं है, क्यों, नंबर नहीं है, सिर्फ m ले लो या फिर सिर्फ n ले लो, ठीक है। सिर्फ आप यहाँ पे यूजुअली सिर्फ n ले लो, ठीक है भाई। अब बस यहाँ पे डिफरेंस क्या है, जितनी नंबर ऑफ रोज की कॉलम, तो बाद में मेरा n चलेगा। ये देखो रोज नहीं देखो आपको यहाँ पे लिटरली मतलब जितनी नंबर ऑफ तो अपनी कॉलम नहीं है क्यों ठीक है भाई फिर से होती है तो 12 यहाँ पे भी वो लगा दिया तो लगा देंगे बीच में इंटीग्रेट करेंगे अगले क्वेश्चन के ऊपर आते हैं व्हिच इज प्रिंट दिस गिवन पैटर्न
वन टू थ्री प्रिंट करना है 2 3 4 प्रिंट करना है या 1 2 3 आया कहाँ तक चलेगा 4 तक यहाँ तक 1 2 3 ना ये रिपीट वाला है कितना में रिपीट करेगा ये टाइम्स है, एंटर द टाइम, ये होगा एंटर द टाइम होगा, काउंट ये होगा, और चलेगा क्या चलेगा इसमें, क्या चलेगा इसमें होगा, तो into equal to 1, C is less than x equal to m j plus, है ना।
जैसे कि मैंने आपको बताया 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 अगेन एग्जाम में सिर्फ इसका कोड मत लिख के आ जाना। एग्जाम में आपको ऐसे लिखना है जैसे अगर आपको कोई n दे रखा हो, जितनी नंबर ऑफ रोज अपनी कॉलम में यहाँ पे अगेन ये स्क्वायर है, ठीक है, तो कोई n दे रखा हो तो n अगर 4 है तो ये प्रिंट करोगे, n इक्वल टू 3 है तो ये प्रिंट करोगे। तो आप कोड में क्या लिखोगे, यूजर से इनपुट n लोगे, उस हिसाब से जैसे मैंने आपको करके दिखाया ना, जो मैं n डालूंगा मेरा आंसर भाई मुझे पैटर्न्स देखेंगे। इसका कोड आता है एज इट इज, इसका कोड हम सबसे पहली बात करोगे नंबर मैंने आपको दोनों जगह बस मैंने यहाँ पे अगर यहाँ पे वो लगा दिया तो मेरा काम बन गया।
अरे भाई